Hi everybody! So yesterday I had a really amazing experience. It was one of the better experiences at the theater I've had in a long time. And I was able to see the 25th anniversary re-release of Home Alone. And Home Alone is actually a really special film for me. It's the first movie that I really remember laughing my head off at the theaters. When I was 9 years old, I took a trip by myself on the plane and I went and visited my grandparents, and we had a special trip where I went to Disneyland, and part of that trip we went and saw Home Alone. It was really kind of a perfect film for me because I was a very independent kid and I liked to do things on my own, and I always wanted to be taken seriously as a person, not just a little kid. I didn't like being little, and I remember I used to look through my parents' wallets and look at their driver's license, their credit cards, their things like that, and be like, I can't wait till I have my own. And so the idea of being left alone was actually something really appealing to me, and to see how Kevin did so well at home, and to see him going shopping and doing the laundry and doing all those things was something very appealing to me, and something that was more of a fantasy more than something scary like some kids it might be. I was in the theater and I was laughing my head off just this last night, and it was so great because all of these kids were in the theater and they were laughing too, which brought back so many memories. And I think the thing that makes it work is because Kevin is such a well-rounded, carefully written character. What John Hughes has done in the script is create a character that at first is very excited to be left at home, which to me feels very authentic as how I would feel, but then also is scared. He's scared of the furnace, he's scared of the old man, he's scared of the robbers when he first sees them, he's hiding under the bed. Like, he has moments where he's really scared. I think it would become off much more false if he was from the very beginning, I'm going to protect our house, kind of a thing. He doesn't. He has lots of vulnerable moments. Things that surprised me last night is that you really don't get the obstacle course, the booby traps segment of the film until about 20 minutes to the end. It's not as long, and it's not as big a part of the movie as you quite remember it. There's so many funny, great sequences that, of course, I loved when I was little, like when he steals the toothbrush. That scene is hilarious, and he's so scared, and he runs off, and then afterwards he's like, I'm a criminal, and it's great. It's good writing. Like I said, I love the segment where he is shopping and doing laundry, and it's just, I think that a lot of kids would do great. Like, we think that they need such hand-holding for everything. And I'm not a parent, what do I know? And it's not like you can leave kids alone, I get it. But I just think that if a lot of kids, if you said you've got to do the grocery shopping, I actually think they would do a pretty good job. And, we think that they're so incapable. I love the whole relationship between Kevin and the old man. The sequence where they are talking at the church, I think, is just a lovely sequence because an adult that is learning from a child. And they have this just lovely interaction where he is taking everything that Kevin is saying very seriously. And that, that Kevin has this insight that into this man's relationship with his son that he was not seeing. And I think that's great. I think that we should talk to our kids. I think that we should get insight from them about life. They see a perspective that maybe we won't see. And just because they're little doesn't mean they don't matter. Let's talk about the humor of the movie. It works, I think, you have to give a lot of the credit to both Macaulay Culkin, who's sarcastic and funny and vulnerable, and all of that works for having his character do what he does. I think that a lot of the booby trap sequences, they are funny because they're done in a way that feel authentic to his character. Like, yes, he probably couldn't in reality set up all these booby traps. They are so out of bounds that it feels impossible that he could have come up with this idea. It's most of it is stuff that from his garage, stuff like nails and tar and, making the sidewalk icy. You have to give a lot of the credit to Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, who are so great in their reactions to everything, and that's what makes it funny. Seeing seeing that expression is funny, and I think the way that they even groan and the way that they and the way they fall is funny. Only a few scary moments where they catch him, and there's some moments of tension, but I don't think it's overdone. I don't think it's too scary, certainly for kids. Love the mother character played by Catherine O'Hara. Reactions also feel very authentic, but are also funny. She of course is full of panic, and then she is desperate, and she feels all this guilt. She feels like a bad mother. And my favorite are the times when she is with John Candy, who's such a funny character, and it's just this small little cameo role, but I love it. He's this polka player. I love when he's talking about leaving his son at the mortuary. That's really funny. And she finally gets there, and again, the subtle writing and the good performance, that it takes him a second. He stops and he sort of looks at her, and he's a little bit upset with her for a second, and then he gets this big smile and he gives her a hug, and that's such a great moment. It would have been so easy to just either make him like, oh, Mom, or, to make him pouty. This mixture that makes it really great, I think. The music by John Williams is wonderful. The way that he's able to combine traditional choral Christmas music with a great score is really wonderful. And I also like the soundtrack that they have, that Chris Columbus has used. And you have songs like Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree and the bebop version of White Christmas. So overall, it's just a really entertaining, wonderful film. And like I said, I loved it as a child, and I still love it now. So if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, definitely give Home Alone a watch. Give it a rewatch with your kids. They will be laughing and having a great time. And so, what's a movie that you remember being the first movie that really made you crack up in the theaters? Put it in the comments section, and let's talk about it. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.